Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be doing another Media of the Moment video. Media of the Moment is a series that I started on my channel a couple of years ago where I basically just sit down and tell you about all of the media I'm currently consuming, everything I'm currently reading, watching, listening to, all that stuff. And I initially made this because I wanted to stop making TBRs, but I'm thinking I might actually start making TBRs again because if you haven't already seen it, I've started doing my TBR shelf unhaul series. I will leave the first video linked up in the cards. It is a version of the closet unhaul series that Books and Lala did last year. And basically, I'm considering giving myself a more structured TBR month by month, given that I have a select number of books I'm choosing from. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, but I did want to go ahead and make another of these because I haven't made one of these in a very long time. And also because I, for the first time in several months, have finally been reading. Not only have I been doing that TBR shelf unhaul series, but I'm currently in the process of doing a 30-day reading challenge. Currently, I am 12 days into it and I've read every single day so far, so good job me. I really should do some sort of like wrap up for the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018 because I haven't done a wrap up in forever. And I think the last one was just for my Booktubeathon reads. I'm not even sure I did a wrap up including Battle Royale, which I read in May. Anyway, the last book that I read in 2017 and the first book that I read in 2018 are books 2 and 3 of the Luck series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I think I'm planning on doing some sort of wrap up sometime soon, so I'm not going to talk too much about this, but I think I gave this one 9 out of 10 and this one 8 out of 10, so both 4-star reads. I'm enjoying the series. I've been meaning to read the last 2 books, but I'll get to that in a little bit. And then starting a few days ago, as part of my 30-day reading challenge, I decided that I was going to start reading a volume of the Battle Royale manga series every day, and so far I've read volumes 3 through 6. I need to read volume 7 today. There are 15 volumes in the series, so far so good. All of these have gotten 4 stars except for volume 3. Volume 3 got 3 stars for several reasons, but all of these have been 4-star reads except for volume 3. Really enjoying the series, really awesome. So if you have seen that first video of the TBR Shelf Unhaul series, you're probably sitting here wondering, Kristen, none of these books that you've read so far have been from that series. What are you doing? Get on that. And don't worry, I am, because while I am reading a volume a day of the Battle Royale series, I've been listening to the audiobook of 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. Now, for the series, I agreed that I would read book 1 since this is such a massive book, and I said I wasn't gonna require myself to read books over 1,000 pages for the challenge, but I am currently in book 2 and I am 487 pages in, and that is out of about 1,200-ish pages, so I am a little bit over a third of the way through. And I'm really enjoying this so far. I wasn't really sure what to expect out of this book, but it's definitely a much easier read than I thought it would be, and it's much more intriguing than I kind of expected. But like I said, I've been listening to this mostly on audiobook. I usually do about 1.5 speed, and I have sometimes actually started reading the book alongside listening to the audiobook. I usually listen to it at 2.5 speed at that point, just to slow my reading down a little bit so that I actually read everything on the page and hear everything. It usually equates to about a page a minute. So yeah, that's what I've been doing with this. So given that I've got 9 volumes left of the Battle Royale series, I'm going to be doing that for the next 9 days, reading a volume a day and listening to the audiobook. Hopefully by that point I will be done with the audiobook. I've been listening to it for about a week at this point, so I think that given the pace that I've been listening to and given that I've kind of accelerated my pace recently, I should probably be done with the audiobook in about 9 days. So at that point, I'll probably move on to one of my other TBR shelf unhaul books, but I'm not sure which one. And I do have one of them on audiobook, so I might listen to that audiobook as well. So that's it for my reading update. As far as my watching update, I'm a little bit all over the place. Right now, I'm keeping up to date with the new seasons of Top Chef, Project Runway All-Stars, and America's Next Top Model. A couple of those, there's only a couple episodes to watch, but Top Chef were like 6 or 7 episodes in, and I'm really liking the season. I've also recently been watching some Survivor. I hadn't really watched Survivor at all, even though I'd been a Big Brother fan, and I just started watching a few months ago. I am midway through season 7, but I haven't watched in a couple weeks. I've also been watching some Hell's Kitchen. I watched a few episodes of Crime Scene recently. I've been meaning to go back and rewatch The Genius link up in the cards to my video about why The Genius is the best TV show on the planet. I haven't gone back and rewatched in forever, and I need to. But yeah, a lot of YouTube viewing lately. That's what I've been doing a lot of. My TV viewing habits are really interesting. I'm either in the mood to binge watch seasons of TV shows, or I find myself just watching episodes here and there of random series and shows and episodes, and it's just, I don't know what I'm doing right now. Right now is one of those times that I'm just watching random stuff, and eventually I will get in the mood to binge watch a full season. So as far as what I've been listening to, like I said, I've been listening to 1Q84 on audiobook. I've been listening to some podcasts, nothing too like consistently. I've been listening kind of all over the place, but as always, I've been listening to a ton of new K-pop. I can't remember when I made the last one of these, but I'm sure that it was probably the beginning of last semester or like the end of the summer, but I've got a ton more K-pop obsessions than I did back then. I think in the last one I was newly obsessed with Day 6, which is so weird to say because Day 6 as of right now is my favorite band. I love Day 6. I just, they're my favorites. They're tied with GOT7 for my favorites. I love them so much. I think since then I've started listening to Pentagon, who is now one of my absolute favorites. Obviously I was already completely obsessed with Infinite. 17 is another new favorite that I absolutely love. I really like BTS. There's just a lot of K-pop artists that I really like. And of course, like I said, GOT7 is tied for my favorite with Day 6. I love all 12 of those idiots. They're my faves. Recently, the songs that I've had on a constant loop are like pretty much all of 17's Teenage album, their most recent album. I love it so much. Also a lot of their Love and Letter repackage. I've been listening to that a lot. My favorite song on there is Healing, and I obviously also love Very Nice, and Simple is really great. I really like Chuck as well. Honestly, both of those full albums are just fantastic, but Healing is the one that I've been listening to constantly. And of course, Infinite just released their new album, which I'm obsessed with. I love them so much. I Hate is definitely my favorite song on the album. It's so good. It's so rock heavy and super cool, and it's my favorite song on the album. Then Pray is also really good. I like the title track, Tell Me. Just Infinite's perfect. And that's pretty much all I've been listening to lately, because honestly, the 1Q84 audiobook has been taking up a lot more of my listening time than K-pop has recently. I'm sure once I finish the audiobook, I'll go back to listening to a ton of K-pop all the time, but most of my K-pop listening lately has been in the form of like watching music videos and like trying to find new groups. So I've been listening to a lot of K-pop like in passing, but 1Q84 audiobook has taken up most of my listening time. To be honest, I've been doing a lot more thinking about writing than actually writing lately, but I've been like really wanting to get back into writing. I think the problem is that I have too many projects and I want to work on all of them at once, and I know I can't, but I can't decide what I want to work on. So I just am battling with myself, because part of me wants to work again on this fanfic that I was writing for NaNoWriMo this year, because it's pretty simple, it's pretty easy. I don't have to like be careful with my words because it's just a fun fanfic, and I don't plan on publishing it. I'm gonna post it online eventually, but I'm not gonna publish it. So that's one thing. But then also I have this story that I wrote for NaNoWriMo back in 2016 that I really enjoy, and that I've been meaning to write the second draft of, and I started the second draft of and only got a couple pages in before I set it down for a little bit, and I've been meaning to get back into that and actually write that and get another draft down, but I also want to work on the other one. And then I've also been kind of wanting to go back and work on Braving the Elements, which, if you're not aware, is my writing project that I've been working on for over a decade at this point. It's a pretty long process. I recently realized that my first handwritten, really crappy draft was finished about New Year's Eve at the beginning of 2008. So it's been a 10-year process. Of course, that was back when I was in junior high. So like I said, really crappy draft, but I've been working on this for way too long. So yeah, I've been kind of wanting to go back and work on that as well. So it's just like, I've got so many projects up in my head and I'm so indecisive and I can't pick one to work on. So I think I'm gonna try to pick one to work on and then make some sort of writing vlog in the near future, letting you know what I'm doing. But we'll see. So that's it for this media of the moment video. For some reason, I feel like I'm completely forgetting something, so I'll probably turn off the camera and then 2 seconds later, I'll remember what it was. But for now, that is it. As always, I will leave links down in the description to my blog, Twitter, and Goodreads. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.